Have you ever walked into the airport totally confident your carry-on is fine, same bag, same setup, sailed through last year, only to get flagged at security, slapped with a gate check fee at the door, or worse, watch an agent drop your brand new gear into a bin marked confiscated? The rules didn't just change on you, enforcement did. In 2025, airports are using sharper X-ray algorithms, stricter airline weight checks, and even AI at the gates to catch problems that have nothing to do with your shampoo bottle. The result is travelers losing time, money, and sometimes their stuff, all because of rules that are technically not new, but newly unforgiving. If you want to breeze through like a pro, no drama, no surprise fees, this is the reality check you need. What's getting flagged right now, why it happens, and how to pack in a way that looks boringly compliant to scanners and staff so you'll wave through while everyone else is stuck explaining themselves. Start with the thing that can literally divert flights: loose lithium batteries. Picture a spare camera cell or vape battery rattling around with keys and coins. All it takes is a terminal touching metal to short out, and the heat spike is instant. Cabin crews are trained to handle battery fires because they're stubborn and dangerous at altitude. That's why agents zero in on naked batteries during screening. If it isn't inside a device, in original packaging, or locked into a proper plastic case that covers the terminals, it's effectively contraband. Rolling a battery in a t-shirt or tucking it into a sock doesn't count. If an X-ray operator sees one, your bag gets pulled, your time evaporates, and every cell gets hunted down one by one. The fix is almost laughably simple. Buy a $6 pack of battery cases, keep spares in them 100% of the time, and toss a couple of tiny terminal covers for odd sizes into your tech pouch. Do that and this entire category of risk disappears. Now to the head scratcher that catches frequent flyers, empty metal bottles. You did the right thing and dumped the water before the line, yet your bag still gets hauled aside. The reason is visibility. Double-walled stainless bottles and chunky insulated designs show up as thick, opaque shapes on the X-ray. If the operator can't see through that mass to confirm it's actually empty and that it's not a decoy with a hidden compartment, they're required to inspect it manually. Hydro flasks, Yetis, any bottle with a wide base or unusual shape gets extra suspicion, and agents will shake it, disassemble lids, sometimes even ask you to pull the parts apart on the table. To the machine, clear plastic equals harmless. Heavy metal equals mystery. If you want zero friction, swap to a clear plastic bottle or a collapsible silicone one for the checkpoint, fill it after security, and keep the fancy thermos in your checked bag if you must bring it. The safest bottle in 2025 isn't the most expensive one, is the most transparent to a scanner. Then there's the new enforcement hammer at the gate. Weight. For years, travelers obsessed over the sizing bin and ignored the scale. Airlines noticed. Many carriers now apply carry-on weight limits, often 7 to 10 kilo, 15-22 lb, and station agents with handheld scales near boarding. The Wilma window middle aisle boarding sequence has made bin space more competitive, and heavier carry-ons slow the bin shuffle. If your roller looks dense, it's getting weighed, and a fail means a gate check fee that's usually higher than the price to check it earlier. Regional jets are even stricter because of balance and smaller bins. Your stealth heavy hitters, laptops, hardcover books, chargers, souvenir glass, a second pair of shoes, even toiletries, liquids are dense. Weigh the bag at home with a $12 luggage scale. If you're close to the limit, shift the laptop and brick charger into your personal item, put the book on your tablet, and wear your heaviest shoes. Also actually read your airline's weight rule on the booking page. 2 minutes of homework beats a $75 surprise at the door. One of the biggest time bombs in a bag is an innocent tub of powder. Protein, collagen, instant coffee, spices, baby formula, cosmetic powders. Anything over roughly 12 ounces invites secondary screening. Why? Because dense powders can hide other materials and confuse the X-ray signature, so policy says test it by hand. That's when the queue stalls and your clock starts bleeding minutes. The workaround is elegant. Portion powders into smaller containers under the threshold. Keep original labels if possible and pack them together in an outer pocket so they're easy to pull. If you travel with several types, separate them into individual pouches so an officer doesn't have to rummage through your entire bag to find each one. 10 minutes of decanting at home saves 30 under fluorescent lights while everyone behind you glowers. Smart luggage is another trap. The marketing promises GPS tracking, built-in scales, and USB power on tap. Security sees a lithium battery bolted inside a hard shell that could overheat where nobody can reach it. The only acceptable version is the kind with a clearly accessible battery that pops out in seconds. If the battery doesn't come out, or you don't know how to remove it instantly, expect a hard no at the gate. People abandon expensive suitcases every day because they fail this test and don't have time to ship them home. If you love the features, buy a model with an obvious zippered battery door, test the removal at home, and keep the tool, if any, right in the carry handle. In practice, the smartest smart bag is the one that can become a dumb bag on command. Here's a counterintuitive reason. Tightly packed bags get flagged. Density. That masterclass packing job, rolled clothes, stuffed into shoes, electronics layered under sweaters, all voids filled, looks like a single, murky block on the X-ray. Operators can't distinguish edges or identify items, so policy says, search it. The fastest bags through a checkpoint aren't the smallest, they're the clearest. Use packing cubes to separate clothing from tech and toiletries so the image has clean layers. Keep electronics together near the opening, not buried, and leave a little bit of breathing room so shapes remain shapes. It feels inefficient, but it saves you from having your entire life pulled onto a stainless steel table, then having to re-Tetris it while the belt shudders and boarding time looms. You know the 311 liquids rule by heart, and people still lose $50 serums every day. The detail that burns travelers is container capacity. It doesn't matter that your 6-ounce bottle is half full, staff will look at the printed size and toss it. Add the ever-expanding definition of liquid, peanut butter, hummus, thick yogurt, gel inserts, some balms. If it smears or pours, it's liquid for rule's sake. Pack one transparent quart bag, decant into 3.4-ounce containers that actually say 100 ml or 3.4 Oz on them, and stop at one bag per person. Don't bring a second extra cosmetics pouch and hope Mercy saves it. Mercy is not a policy. When in doubt, check it or buy it after security. Power banks trigger a different kind of gotcha, math. Anything over 100 watt-hours is out, full stop. The problem is most bricks are labeled in milliamp hours, which means converting on the spot mAh voltage 1000 sh/h. A common $30,000 MAA pack at 3.7 V, that's 111 watch, over the threshold. If the watch isn't printed on the case and you can't prove compliance immediately, the safe move for an officer is to confiscate it. Avoid the heartbreak by buying a pack that prints 100 watch right on the shell, keeping the box or spec card in your tech kit, and learning the single calculation you need if challenged. Also pack your bank in the cabin, not the hold. Lithium goes with you, both for safety and because checked bags get screened differently. Food is where security and agriculture collide. You could sail past TSA with snacks that are perfectly legal for the checkpoint, then land into a USDA inspection that treats your trail mix, jerky, cheese, fresh fruit, or plant cuttings as a quarantine risk with fines to match. Domestic routes can be strict, think certain island states and territories, and international routes layer destination rules on top that change by country and season. If your itinerary crosses borders, think like customs, not like a picnic. Stick to commercially packaged, clearly labeled foods and declare anything that could be interpreted as fresh or animal-derived at arrival. The agent you meet at the jet bridge after a long haul isn't a TSA screener. It's an agriculture officer with federal authority and a database that remembers names. Medication deserves its own spotlight because when it goes wrong, it's scary. Loose pills in a day, organize a look like contraband to an X-ray and to a screener trained to assume the worst until proven otherwise. Meds in a bottle with the wrong name, your kid's script in your carry-on for example, create a verification problem that can involve phone calls, paperwork, and long tense minutes you don't have. The friction-free way is the boring way. Original pharmacy containers with your name, dosage labels visible, plus printed prescriptions or a doctor's letter for injectables, liquids, and anything controlled. If you travel internationally, check destination rules. Some countries ban meds that are routine at home. Pack spares in separate places in case one bag gets delayed, and never check life-critical meds. Now the rule everybody knows, but still forgets in the rush. Big electronics must come out. Laptops, full-size tablets, e-readers, game consoles, large cameras. If it's bigger than a phone, assume it needs its own tray, unless you've been explicitly routed through a CT lane where devices can stay in. The X-ray hates dense slabs because they block the view of whatever sits behind them. Leave one inside the bag, and the operator has to pull the whole thing, explode it onto the table, and rescreen piece by piece. Build the habit at home. Pack a dedicated outer sleeve or quick access pocket, in line, slide devices into a tray automatically. Smooth travelers look predictable to staff, shoes off if required, liquids bag visible, electronics out, pockets empty. Predictable equals fast. The packing style that sails through in 2025 is simple, legible, and boring. Batteries in cases, power banks labeled under $100 a watch, powders portioned beneath the threshold and placed together, liquids in a single, truly quart-sized clear bag with containers that print their volume, electronics corralled at the zip so they pop out in one motion, smart luggage with pop-out batteries or no smart battery at all. One carry-on plus one personal item that actually looks like one carry-on plus one personal item. Use cubes for clothing so the X-ray shows clean layers instead of a brick. Leave a little air in the bag so shapes stay, shapes, and an operator's trained eye can clear you in 2 seconds. Bring a clear bottle through the checkpoint, not a dense, opaque thermos. Weigh the roller at home. If it's close, move the dense stuff to your underseat bag or check it by choice, not at penalty. Do this and you change your entire airport experience. Agents aren't out to get you. They're out to keep a system moving under rules that are stricter because the risks are real and the volume is high. Your job is to pack in a way that makes your bag easy to read by machines and easy to approve by humans. 10 minutes of setup at home saves 30 in a line and 50 at a gate. It saves your serum, your power bank, your dignity, and sometimes your whole itinerary. So let me ask you this. What's the strangest thing you've seen get flagged at security? And which of these fixes are you going to adopt before your next flight? The battery cases, the clear bottle swap, the powder portioning, or the one item look at the gate? Tell me in the comments. And if this breakdown saved you a headache or a fee, subscribe to Visa Pro, hit the bell, and share this with the friend who still thinks last year's setup is good enough in 2025. Safe travels and smoother checkpoints from here on out.